Okay, here we are for the final installment of our series, The Risk of Obedience. I don't know about you, have you ever had a pop quiz before? Or a test that happened, something unexpected, maybe a bill come up, or just something, a project you didn't know was happening at work, just something happened where you weren't expecting it. Now, tests are a part of life. And when you're on this journey of obedience, here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a test that comes. Actually, it might even be from God that will come, that will test what your obedience is to. And you'll have one or two choices. Will I be courageous or will I be afraid? During the series, Risk of Obedience, we've been talking about the greatest risk you'd ever take, which is to be obedient. And the outcome of what your future holds, what God holds for your life, it's always on the other side. It's on the other side. It's on the other side of the lake. It's on the other side of obedience. Following God is how you get there. Being obedient to Jesus and loving Him and obeying His commands is how you get there. And during this thing, we've learned that it starts with faith. I believe. And then what ends up happening is it goes then with getting in the presence of God. I receive. So I believe, I receive. Then it actually continues with submission. If I'm going to be obedient, I have to submit. I concede. So I believe, I receive, I concede. And then finally, what we're talking about is this is decision number 4, which is I will choose courage over fear. This is where I achieve. I believe, I receive, I concede, and I achieve. Your life will either be by faith I did or by fear I didn't. I think about the story of Joshua. So Moses, hero of Israel, takes them out of Egypt and through the wilderness, and now they're on the shores of their destiny. They've been obedient and they followed Jesus, and they're about to be at the outcome. The one thing in the way is the Jordan River. And Moses is gone. Slight problem. Joshua is now the leader. And imagine him sitting there on that day, knowing that right on the other side of that river is the promised land, is the future, is his destiny. But how are they going to cross? How is 2 million people going to cross? And he had the staff, Moses' staff actually. He had it, and what he had seen God do through Moses, he was going to see if God could do through him. And he steps into the water, and he has a choice. Am I going to put the staff into the water, or am I going to run? And he chooses to put the staff in the water, and God does the miracle. God does a miracle. When you're obedient, God does miracles. God does a miracle, splits the sea, and they walk through on dry ground. In the same way they walked through the Red Sea, they'd walk through the Jordan River. And what's fascinating is as you look at the story of Joshua, you read Joshua 1, Joshua 2, over and over and over again, God tells Joshua to be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged, for I will be with you. Courage comes from knowing that God is with you. And there's going to be a moment where you're facing something that seems so daunting. And on the other side of it, you know there's a calling for your life. And what you have to do is you have to be obedient to the Lord and take courage and let Him do the miracle. And let Him do what only you can do, or only He can do. And so here's my challenge to you. We're finishing this thing up. And here's what we need. We need courageous people. We need courageous people. We live in a time of racial divide. We need courageous people who are all about racial reconciliation. We live in a world right now where everything's dividing us. We need people who open up their homes, open up their a spot at their table and say, everyone's welcome here. You might look differently than me. You might think differently than me. But we are going to be courageous and welcome people as God has welcomed us into His family. We're going to need courageous people, and I'm inviting you to be courageous. And here's the first step to learning how to be courageous. You pray the Lord's Prayer every day. I do this every single day, and it helps me so much. I pray, Our Father who's in heaven, may your name be kept holy. May your kingdom come, and your will be done on earth, here, as it is in heaven. Give me today, God, everything I need to do everything you called me to do. And forgive me of my sins as I forgive those who sin against me. God, don't let me give in to temptation, but deliver me, Lord, from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Here's my challenge to you after we've done this journey of obedience is I want you to start praying the Lord's Prayer every day. and watch what happens in your life as you learn to be in the presence of God, as you learn to live by faith, as you learn to submit to God's will, and as you learn to be courageous on the journey. I hope you've had a great time. I've learned so much just going through this stuff, and I hope you have too. God bless you. And we're going to be doing a new series sometime soon, so be on the lookout for the next series from Rivers Church.